Residents of West Mosul flee fighting in the city on Thursday. As the battle rages in the area around the old city, the situation for civilians has become unbearable. Many people have now been without food and water for days, and that's on top of the gunfire, truck bombs, shelling and airstrikes that they've been living with for weeks.
We escaped from shelling. There was no means to stay there, no food, nothing to drink, nothing at all.
Airstrikes are giving Iraqi forces on the ground the chance to dislodge entrenched ISIL positions. But civilians are inevitably being killed too. Those fleeing the fighting have told us that ISIL fighters are trying to force them to stay as human shields, knowing their presence will slow the Iraqi government advance. We saw for ourselves the deadly impact that US-led coalition air support brings. Special forces calling in strikes on Tuesday. But in these built-up urban areas, civilians are bound to be hit. Temporary field hospitals around Mosul are filling up with those wounded in the fighting. The United Nations Refugee Agency announced on Thursday that 400,000 civilians remain trapped in the city. And in an ominous statement, they said the worst was yet to come.
Unfortunately, over the last several weeks, it seems more and more of our injuries are mothers and small children, 4-year-olds, 8-year-olds, and just the innocent bystanders and victims of war.
And as the casualties increase, the armed forces will be forced to slow down. The news that more than 200 people have been killed in airstrikes on Thursday will inevitably slow the progress of the Iraqi forces and their coalition partners as they try to retake the city. But the longer they take, the more desperate the situation gets for those trapped inside. Tony Cheng, CGTN, Northern Iraq.